A top story today comes from Hyderabad, where the Prophet insult row has reignited once again, courtesy MLA Raja Singh. There were protests that stretched over 72 hours and a good year before the election. Is this the beginning of the polarization in Telangana is the question. Swastika Das brings us this report.
72 hours of protests that kept Hyderabad on its toes. The backlash against suspended BJP MLA Raja Singh for his derogatory comments on Prophet Mohammad has already set the tone for what the elections in Telangana are going to look like. Raja was rearrested on Thursday and jailed under the Draconian Preventive Detention Act, within 48 hours of being let out on bail. This while AIMIM MP Asaduddin Owaisi pushed for the release of nearly 100 protesters, some of whom raised slogans like Sartan Se Juda.
हम बार-बार ये आपसे कह रहे हैं कि आवाम से अपील भी कर रहे हैं कि आप तशद्दुद और वायलेंस को उकसाने की बात मत करिए.
But no action on his own party leaders Nazreen Sultana and Zafar Khan, who raised the very same slogan. Hyderabad influencer Syed Kashaf was the only person detained, but was soon let off the hook by a local court as the police failed to furnish a notice mandated under Section 41A of the CRPC. Call it a political strategy or taking a moral high ground, BJP steered clear of the Raja Singh controversy. Party leaders say actions speak louder than words. But the overall situation seems to have indirectly benefited their poll pitch, that the ruling TRS is working as AIMIM's stooge. A similar pitch in the 2020 GHMC elections fetched them 48 seats, a close second to the TRS.
మొన్ననేమో మునవర్ ఫారూక్ అని ఒక కమిడియన్ వరకొచ్చి అన్ని రాష్ట్రాలు నిషేధిస్తే వాని ప్రోగ్రాం పెట్టించారు పోలీస్ బందోబస్తు మధ్యలో ప్రజల దృష్టి మళ్ళించిండు ఏం జరుగుతుందో తెలుసు మనకు.
The person whose kingdom is at stake, Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, has hit the ground running, mounting sharp attacks at the Modi government for fomenting unrest in Hyderabad for political gains.
దయచేసి ఆలోచన చేయండి. 8 ఏళ్ల నుంచి మన దగ్గర కఠినంగా వ్యవహారం చేసి సీమ సిట్టుకు మంటలేదు. ప్రశాంతంగా ఉన్న తెలంగాణ సమాజం, హైదరాబాద్ నగరం, మన మొత్తం రాష్ట్రమంతా కూడా అద్భుతమైనటువంటి బ్రహ్మాండమైనటువంటి ప్రశాంత వాతావరణంలో అభివృద్ధి జరుగుతూ ఉంది.
The battle for Telangana is heating up with every passing day. All the parties have hit the ground running. For TRS, it is all about retaining its bastion. For the BJP, it is about making inroads into a state where they want to expand their prominence, their second gateway to south after Karnataka. Will the MIM be able to retain its bastion? And what about the Congress? With the top leadership in split, how does the Congress's future in Telangana is likely to look like? With all of these power dynamics at play, it only remains to be seen that the battle for Telangana is going to be one epic one. With video journalist Venkatesh in Hyderabad, Swastika Das for CNN News 18.
Has the tone been set for the assembly elections in Telangana? We'll discuss that. Our eminent panel joins us today. We have Sai Shekhar Rao, a political expert. We have Krishna Sagar Rao, BJP spokesperson, and Mr. Krishank Mani, who's the TRS leader, joining us. I'll come to you, Mr. Sai Shekhar. Do you believe that this has set the tone for the assembly elections next year? And what is likely to be the ramification of this?
You can't see this as setting of the stage for next assembly elections. That has been done quite long ago. Ever since the BJP won Hyderabad elections, BJP has amplified the political activity in Telangana, and Telangana state government led by Mr. Chandrasekhar Rao has also become wary of the BJP's overtures and efforts to make inroads into the Telangana state, and then the government has responded very effectively, and then it has become a war between both the parties. It's a tough war, and the BJP has chosen Hyderabad for its national executive towards the first week, about 1st and 2nd of July. And ever since, and the
Yes.
Telangana Rashtra Samiti, Telangana Rashtra Samiti, which has opposed the BJP's presidential candidate and seconded the opposition candidate, has put up a wonderful, very huge gala show welcoming Mr. Yashwant Sinha, who himself was surprised that he could actually, get such a rousing welcome in Hyderabad, and the Chief Minister used that platform
Yes.
to launch a trenchant attack against the BJP. And then ever since he has been constantly upping the ante against the BJP, and BJP is also not taking this line down, and the atmosphere has really become very hot.
Okay.
And this Atta Singh's comments have actually.
So you believe this is perhaps taking it to the next level? One question,
Yeah.
as protest in a way eases out in Hyderabad, one question that is now cropping up, and I would like to take this to Mr. Krishank Mane. Mr. Mane, whether it's Bangalore or Delhi, Munawar Farooqi shows were cancelled. Why did the TRS government take this risk of ensuring that his show happens? And in a way, did they anticipate this kind of a reaction, considering how volatile Hyderabad is?
Well, see, one thing we should understand that we did not expect the double standards from Bharatiya Janata Party, because if we are talking about this particular comedy show, before Hyderabad, there was a show at Chennai, and there were no issues at Chennai. There was a Congress and DMK alliance government there. And a couple of months back, there is this actress called Kangana Ranaut, who seems to be very politically inclined by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and is also, I believe, has been given a Y category security by the government of India. Well, she had Munawar Farooq on her
But
and probably was a
Mr. Mane, the situation in Chennai and Hyderabad are totally different. Didn't you anticipate this law and order issue?
Well, see, our duty is to protect the law and order. When RSS can come to Hyderabad and Telangana and can do a rally with stakes, when they are allowed to do a procession, same time this particular comedian show also can happen. When Kangana Ranaut, who is close to BJP, can have him on the show, why not here is the question. The Bharatiya Janata Party, today you see the double standards. The National Party has suspended Raja Singh. But the state BJP unit coming up with a comedian show as a defense itself shows that they wanted to defend Raja Singh. Because in the show, what we want to ask is, legally, has the comedian in this show spoken anything unlawful? If so, please go to the court. They can always go to the court and stop it. But instead, what did the BJP MLA do? He threw up.
I'll take it to Mr. Krishna Sagar.